Most morning routine advice sounds the same. Wake up at 5, cold shower, journaling, meditation, exercise, green smoothie, all before 7 a.m. And it's not that any of these things are bad. It's that the philosophy underneath them is almost never examined. What are we actually trying to do in the morning? Why does it matter how we begin the day? What does a genuinely good morning produce, not just in terms of tasks completed, but in terms of how we feel and function for the hours that follow? Japan has been thinking about mornings for a very long time, and the answers Japanese culture has developed are quite different from the productivity-obsessed, optimization-focused approach that dominates most Western morning routine advice. Let's talk about what a Japanese morning actually looks like and, more importantly, what it's for. The first thing to understand is that in Japanese culture, the morning is considered a sacred time, not in a religious sense necessarily, though there are religious dimensions to it. Sacred in the sense of protected, reserved, not to be rushed through or filled with obligations, but approached with a quality of attention that sets the tone for everything that follows. This begins with the concept of mezamashi awakening. In Japanese, the word for alarm clock is mezamashi, doki, literally awakening clock. But the deeper idea of mezamashi is not just physical waking. It's the full transition from the sleeping state to the waking one. A transition that, in Japanese culture, is treated as something worth doing properly, not something to be shortcut. Many traditional Japanese households begin the morning with a simple ritual of opening the windows and curtains to let in natural light, not to immediately check a phone, not to begin a task, simply to acknowledge the arrival of a new day and allow the body to orient itself to the light. This practice aligns with what modern chronobiology has confirmed morning. Light exposure is one of the most powerful regulators of the circadian rhythm, and getting light in the eyes, within the first hour of waking, has cascading effects on mood, energy, and cognitive function throughout the day. The second element of the traditional Japanese morning is choushoku breakfast, but not just any breakfast, and not breakfast, eaten while standing at the counter scrolling through your phone. The traditional Japanese breakfast is a considered balanced meal: rice, miso soup, grilled fish or tofu, pickled vegetables, sometimes a soft egg. Each component serves a nutritional purpose, and the meal is eaten sitting down with some degree of attention, paid to the act of eating itself. This connects to the broader Japanese relationship with food that we've discussed on this channel, the practice of harahachi, bo, eating until 80% full, and the general cultural orientation toward food as something worthy of care and attention, not something to be consumed as quickly as possible while doing something else. The morning meal in Japanese culture is a ritual of nourishment, a moment of care for the body before the demands of the day begin. It doesn't need to be elaborate. It needs to be intentional. The third element is Taiso movement, and here is where the Japanese morning diverges, most dramatically from the Western model. In Japan, there is a radio program called Radio Taiso that has been broadcast every morning since 1928. It consists of a series of simple, gentle exercises, stretching, light calisthenics, breathing movements that take approximately 3 minutes to complete. For nearly a century, millions of Japanese people have started their mornings with this same brief sequence of movements. This is not a workout. It's not designed to build muscle or burn calories or achieve a fitness goal. Its purpose is different: to wake the body up gently, to increase blood flow, to loosen joints that have stiffened overnight, and to signal to the nervous system that the day has begun. The philosophy behind Radio Taiso reflects something important about the Japanese approach to daily practice: consistency and gentleness over intensity and variability. 3 minutes every morning for decades produces something that an intense workout once a week cannot. Not physical fitness in the conventional sense, but a relationship with movement that is so embedded in the daily routine that it becomes effortless, automatic, and sustainable across a lifetime. This connects to the Kaizen principle: continuous, small, consistent improvement, and to the shokunin spirit of showing up every day without drama. The fourth element of the Japanese morning is what I would call the deliberate space before the day begins. In many Japanese households, there is a period of quiet before the activities of the day properly start. It might be tea, drunk slowly and without distraction. It might be a few minutes in the garden. It might simply be sitting in the kitchen, while the light changes and the sounds of the neighborhood begin. This is not wasted time. This is the moment in which the transition from home self to work self happens. the internal preparation that allows a person to arrive at their obligations with full presence, rather than stumbling into them still half asleep and disoriented. We've talked about Ma on this channel, the Japanese concept of meaningful empty space, the pause that gives structure to what comes before and after it. The morning Ma is perhaps the most important Ma of all, because how you enter the day sets a neurological and emotional tone that is genuinely difficult to shift once it's established. The person who rushes out of bed skips breakfast, checks their phone before their eyes have fully adjusted to the light, and arrives at their first obligation. Already reactive and scattered, that person has set themselves up for a day that continues in that key. The Japanese morning is designed to do the opposite, to begin slowly, to arrive at the day's demands from a place of equilibrium rather than emergency. The fifth element is kansha, gratitude, or, more precisely, a kind of appreciative acknowledgement of what you have. In traditional Japanese households, there is a practice before meals of saying itadakimasu, a word that roughly means, I humbly receive. It's an expression of gratitude for the food, for the people who prepared it, for the living things that gave their lives for it. It is a moment of acknowledgement before consumption. This practice, the brief, intentional pause to acknowledge what you're receiving, can be applied to the morning as a whole. Before the day demands things of you, there is a moment to notice what you have. The body that woke up, the house you're in, the people around you, the new day itself, with all its unrealized possibility. Research in positive psychology has consistently found that gratitude practices brief, regular, specific acknowledgement of what is good have significant effects on well-being, resilience, and mood. The Japanese have been practicing a version of this for centuries, embedded in the rituals and language of daily life, without needing a research paper to justify it. Now let's talk about what all of this adds up to, because I think there's something larger here than any individual practice. The Japanese morning is not about optimization. It's not about cramming in as much productivity as possible before the workday begins. It's about something much simpler and much more important, arriving at the day as a whole, grounded person. The light, the food, the movement, the quiet, the gratitude. Each of these is individually a small thing. Together, they create a kind of psychological and physiological foundation from which the rest of the day can unfold with more ease, more clarity, and more genuine presence. You don't need to follow the Japanese morning exactly. You don't need miso soup and radio Taiso, though you could do worse. What you need is the philosophy underneath it. Begin slowly. Nourish yourself before you deplete yourself. Move your body gently. Create space before the demands start. And take a moment, just a moment, to notice what you have before you focus on what you need. I want to add one more thing, because I think it's the most important point of all. The reason morning routines matter, the reason Japan has thought so carefully about how the day begins, is not that the morning itself is magical, it's that beginnings set patterns. The way you begin anything tends to shape how the rest of it unfolds. A conversation that starts with hostility rarely becomes warm. A project that begins without a clear intention rarely finds one later. A day that begins in chaos tends to stay chaotic. The Japanese morning is an investment in pattern. By beginning with care, with light, with food, with movement, with quiet, with gratitude, you establish a quality of attention that, if you're fortunate, carries forward into the hours that follow. You can't control what the day will bring. You can't guarantee that things will go well, or that your plans will hold, or that you'll feel the way you want to feel. But you can control how you begin, and how you begin matters more than most of us realize. So tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you start the coffee and open your email, and begin the long process of reacting to everything the world is throwing at you, take a moment. Open a window, let in the light. Notice that a new day has arrived. That's the Japanese morning, and it starts with that.